Hey, thank you for joining us on this episode of Sports Bets for Free. My name is Scott Jenkins, your host, just a local sports bettor here in Phoenix, Arizona. And hopefully today with our picks and your picks, it'll be another profitable day for you. Wednesday, September 11th, Major League Baseball playoffs. 3 games for us today as the Rangers did take down the Baltimore Orioles yesterday, kind of as expected. It just looked like maybe the Orioles just didn't have enough fight left in them. Took away a big 7-1 win. We got 3 games today. First game up out of the chute, Braves, Phillies. In my opinion, probably the toughest series to call out of this whole, all the series that were, all 4 series that were going on. Elder versus Nola. Philly's slight favorite, as they should be, as Nola's pitched extremely well in the postseason. Philly's going back home. I'm surprised they're not more of a favorite. I thought they would be about $1.40. Right now, right around $1.25 favorite. So, one of those type of things, right? They should be a favorite. They should be a little bit bigger favorite. But the Braves, how do I put this? So, when the wild card teams come in, the way that they win those series is they don't let the favorite team get going, right? And the Phillies in Game 2, unfortunately, let the Braves get going. They had Wheeler pitched well, and then the bullpen came in, and they gave up the additional runs to lose that game 5-4 in Game 2 after they beat them 3-0 in Game 1. You just can't. You got to let sleeping dogs lie, so to speak, right? So kind of like what the D-backs have done with the Dodgers, what the Rangers did to the Orioles. You just do not want to give that team that's been so dominant all year basically life. And that's what the Phillies did here. And it's the Braves are a fantastic team. The one area that the Braves struggle, they're just a little short on pitching than they normally are. With Morton being out, Fried got kind of beat up last game. Spencer Strider pitched okay. I wouldn't call his outing the most dominant thing I've ever seen. But the one area that they're struggling in is pitching a little bit. So, and in the playoffs, pitching is definitely key. So you've seen it in almost every other series. Yeah, some of these teams are scoring 7 and 9 runs, but look on the other side and they've got a whopping 1, and they just can't put anything together. So when it comes to this Braves team, keeping them down was kind of important. Unfortunately, I don't know if a lot of teams are going to be able to keep the Braves down. But the Braves have to realize that they're going to have to win games by scoring 5+ runs. They're not going to win a game 3-0. They're not going to win a game 3-2. I just don't think their pitching staff can handle it. So, unless some dramatic change happens on that end, right? But we are going to go with the Braves because we do think they're going to get to Nola today on that one. I think this is where Nola, you cannot be a 4.5, 5 ERA pitcher and all of a sudden the lights turn on in the postseason every year and you're sub-1. It just doesn't make any sense. And I just don't. Nola throws way too many balls, walks batters, hits batters. I just think you can't add free base runners for the Braves. It just gives them way too many opportunities to be destructive. So we are going to go Braves money line, and then on the run line we're like +1.5, -1.5, and -2.5. We do like the Braves over the 4.5 team total today. Braves money line first 3, 5, and 7 innings. Austin Riley and Ozzie Albies over 1.5 hits, runs, RBIs. And Acuna over 2.5 hits, runs, RBIs, because God forbid he be a 1.5, right? So Riley, Albies, Acuna over 1.5 total bases. Riley, Albies, Acuna double. Riley, Albies, Acuna home run. Acuna stolen base. Riley, Albies, Acuna 2+ hits. So we'll run through those Braves Phillies for you one more time. Braves money line +1.5, -1.5, -2.5 on the run line. Braves over the 4.5 team total. Braves money line first 3, first 5, first 7 innings. Austin Riley, Ozzie Albies over 1.5 hits, runs, RBIs. Acuna over 2.5 hits, runs, RBIs. Riley, Albies, Acuna over 1.5 total bases. Riley, Albies, Acuna double. Riley, Albies, Acuna homer. Riley, Acuna, Albies 2+ hits, and then also Acuna a stolen base in this one. Next game up on the schedule is going to be Astros Twins in Minneapolis for Game 4. Twins down 2-1 in this series. Joe Ryan pitching for him today. Urquidy for the Astros. Twins are about $1.25 favorite. Total at 8. Joe Ryan had not a good September whatsoever. Urquidy, if you look at what the book has Urquidy at, they basically 10.5 outs is his outs recorded. So they're looking at this getting an extremely early hook. I don't think that's going to happen in this game. First of all, because I don't think the Twins can score enough. I think pitching matchup-wise, they probably got the best pitching matchup they could hope for out of the mix, but they don't score enough. Like, if they put up 3 runs, that's like a big production day, and it's hard to keep that Astros lineup under 3 runs. So they did score 6 one time this series, but they scored 3 or less in the opening series every game. So it's just their offense struggles. They swing and miss way too much, and you know, even if you get a couple runners on, you can't guarantee you're going to get a run home. I've seen it multiple times. Runner at second, nobody out for them. They can't get a run home. And in playoff baseball, that's the most important thing. We are going to ride the Astros one more time today. We think they're going to close it out. I just think they sniffed the ALCS and just want to get there. You know, knowing that the Rangers are already there. So I think they just sniff it and try to finish this thing out today. They don't want it to go to Game 5. So we are going to take the Astros money line, plus 1.5, minus 1.5, and 2.5 on the run lines. Astros money line, first 3, 5, and 7 innings. Astros over the 3.5 team total. Twins under the 3.5 team total. Joe Ryan under 14.5 outs. Joe Ryan over 1.5 earned runs. Urquidy over 10.5 outs and under 2.5 earned runs. And then we're going to take Altuve, Tucker, Alvarez, which we've taken the last couple days, and it's been really successful. So Altuve, Tucker, Alvarez over 1.5 hits, runs, RBIs. Altuve, Tucker, Alvarez over 1.5 total bases. Altuve, Tucker, Alvarez double. Altuve, Tucker, Alvarez homer. And Altuve, Tucker, Alvarez 2+ hits. So we'll go through that with you one more time. Astros money line, and then on the run line, like plus 1.5, minus 1.5, and minus 2.5. Astros money line, first 3, 5, and 7 innings. Astros over the 3.5 team total. Twins under the 3.5 team total. Joe Ryan over 14.5 under 14.5 outs and over 1.5 earned runs. Urquidy over 10.5 outs and under 2.5 earned runs. Altuve, Tucker, Alvarez over 1.5 hits, runs, RBIs. Altuve, Tucker, Alvarez over 1.5 total bases. Altuve, Tucker, Alvarez double. Altuve, Tucker, Alvarez home run. Altuve, Tucker, Alvarez 2+ hits. Last game up on the slate is going to be D-backs coming back home with a 2-0 lead going against the Dodgers. Dodgers are $1.35 favorite because they should be. I'll be honest with you, like, I know momentum has played a big thing in this series, but when you realistically, when it's a, you know, you're looking at, you know, like power rankings, which is what the books go off a lot. You know, power rankings wise, the Dodgers are, you know, better team, have been all season long. It's just hard to switch that up for, you know, get a good playoff sense. Lance Lynn going against Brandon Pfaadt. The youngster for the D-backs, he's not had a great year, right? But he's pitched decently in spots. Lance Lynn has been a complete roller coaster. I've seen him pitch 2 of the best games he's had this year, but for most of the season, it's been absolutely destruction. He walks everybody. If you're patient with him, you will get a walk. He will not throw 3 strikes before he throws 4 balls. I promise you. This is the way he's pitched all season long. This is the way he's continued to pitch. And I will say this about the D-backs. They have been extremely patient at the plate. And the one thing that they have done the first 2 games is get an early lead because the Dodgers are front runners. When they get an early lead, they're extremely tough to beat. When they fall behind early, they struggle coming back. Where the D-backs have been scrappy and have come back all season long. You think they're down 3-1, they're down 5-2, and somehow they just figure out a way to manufacture some runs and come back. The Dodgers, for some reason, can't put that together. A lot of it has to do with a lot of swing and miss at the bottom of the lineup. And a lot of it has to do if Freddie and Mookie aren't having stellar 3-hit games, that they don't score a lot of runs, right? They rely a lot on the long ball. A lot of teams do these days. But when it comes to playoff baseball, the long ball don't come as often, right? So we got to figure out a way to get base runners. We got to figure a way to manufacture runs. We need singles, doubles, walks, play a big, big role, and then also having some depth in the lineup. The Dodgers in years past have had that monster depth all the way out throughout the lineup. This year was a payroll cut to get under the Cohen luxury tax. Therefore, it's not there. Not only that, you throw in all the injuries and all the pitching injuries that they've had where they've been so dominant over the last few years. Now, I think everything switches for them next year. I'll be shocked if Ohtani's not wearing Dodger blue, but that's kind of what that's kind of what's been going on. I mean, you got to admit, look at the guys they've lost. Urias, we all are all aware of his deal. They lost Walker Buehler, who got hurt the year prior with Tommy John, not there all year. Dustin May, Tommy John. Another one we don't ever talk about is they did sign Trevor Bauer a couple years ago, and then that whole mess unraveled. That was another guy that they had planned pitching. So they're pitching two kids for Bobby Miller and Emmett Sheehan. They had no plan on pitching. So I don't think they had a plan for them to come up and pitch this year. But both of them had to take on major roles, especially Bobby Miller. So the fact that they got to 100 wins, I thought was a fantastic accomplishment. And especially with that bullpen that's absolutely horrid. But I expect the playoff run to end here today. The Diamondbacks are just smoking hot right now. The Dodgers can't hit. They haven't hit the first two games of the series. And I'm going to tell you right now, the Diamondbacks will be able to figure out how to generate some runs. They remind me of the Giants teams almost and the Royals when they didn't have a bunch of the big boppers, but they always figured out a way to score runs. And the Dodgers haven't seemed to figure that one out yet. Therefore, we're going to take the Diamondbacks to finish off this series today. D-backs, money line, D-backs plus 1.5, minus 1.5, minus 2.5 on the run line. The Diamondbacks over the 4.5 team total. Dodgers under 5.5 team total. I think that one's the gift of the day on that particular one. They haven't scored more than 2 runs yet, and all of a sudden we're at 5.5 for total. Okay. D-backs, Dodgers, yes run first inning. D-backs plus a half a run, first 3, first 5, first 7 innings. Corbin Carroll, Gabriel Moreno, Ketel Marte over 1.5 hits, runs, RBIs. Carroll, Moreno, Marte over 1.5 total bases. Carroll, Moreno, Marte double. Carroll, Moreno, Marte homer. Carroll, Marte walk. And then Carroll, Moreno, Marte 2+ hits. So we'll give you that one more time. And Lance Lynn could walk 5 guys, and I don't know how quick he's going to get the hook, but I assume it's going to be quick if he gets in trouble at any spot. Although I'm fine with being on the D-back side of this. We're perfectly fine with that Dodgers bullpen coming in early. Dodgers money line plus 1.5 How about Diamondbacks money line plus 1.5, minus 1.5, minus 2.5 on the run line. D-backs over the 4.5 team total. Dodgers under the 5.5 team total. D-backs, Dodgers on a yes run first inning. D-backs plus a half a run first 3, 5, and 7 innings. Corbin Carroll, Gabriel Moreno, and Ketel Marte over 1.5 hits, runs, RBIs. Carroll, Moreno, Marte over 1.5 total bases. Carroll, Moreno, Marte double. Carroll, Moreno, Marte homer. Carroll, Marte a walk. And then Carroll, Moreno, and Marte 2+ hits. So do make sure you check out the comment section of this episode. You will find a link to the Google Sheet. On that sheet, you will find all of our plays, the amount, units wagered, what book they were at, what juice, all that kind of good stuff. And you'll see all the results that we've had all season long. There are 4 sheets. Just a quick note. Sheet 1's football last year. Sheet 2, baseball this year. Sheet 3, football this year. And Sheet 4, basketball this year so far. So make sure you check those out when you get a minute. Also, make sure you subscribe and get notifications to the channel. So when we drop our bets, you get those first. And that should give you plenty of time to match them up with your bets and give you a ton of confidence heading to that betting app or betting window. We want everybody to be successful, and we like it to be, maybe it's just you thought the same way on some line, or maybe we came at it just a little bit different angle, and that really sunk in for you. We want your bets to be profitable. We want everybody profitable. We're here to make money. We're not doing the old, obviously we want to make money, right? I think that's the whole reason. And the thrill of making money is sometimes just as important on that one there. But we're here. This is an investment tool for us. We believe in the strategies that we've got for all the things that we bet on. We just don't bet. You'll notice when you go through this, we don't bet, parlays. We bet straight wagers. We do have stuff that has plus money on it all over the place. But we don't take where I need 32 legs or I need 4 legs. Those things, every time you add a leg on a parlay, it just gives more juice or gives more odds to the house. And we're really not here for that. We're here to make money. Therefore, we stick with the straight wagers. Anyway, I do appreciate everybody's support as always, and I look forward to seeing you on the next episode.